The Amiibo meta is quietly shaking at the roots. The Moonwalk Method is creating shockingly effective and unorthodox Amiibo opponents, some of whom have quickly become the #1 Amiibo of their character in the world. This is Zelda. I'm sorry, this is Link. Back in the day, Link was the most consistent threat in the Amiibo meta, with boomerang pressure creating openings for him to net kills. The utilization of parrying heavily neutered Link's boomerang over time, and while he's still one of the most frequently trained Amiibo, he's fallen off the meta in terms of potency. His boomerang, up smash, and forward air toolkit that we discussed last week just doesn't cut it in today's training environment. Clever segue to Hector. Hector used Moonwalk Method and frame-by-frame exploits using the camera function in Smash to train the #1 Link Amiibo in the world. It's #1 according to Amiibots. This Link, as we saw a little bit last week, is completely unorthodox, and very quickly rose to the top of the pile of Links. This Link succeeds where the others fail by using what are called feint values. Feint values are kinda nuts. See, the Moonwalk Method takes advantage of Amiibo AI in a way that old training methods never have. When you turn away from your Amiibo in training so that your character faces away from it, that slightly raises what's called the feint value. If you turn away a lot, the feint value gets really high after a while. And once the feint values are high enough, the Amiibo will start taking advantage of opportunities to attack. That's simply how the game interprets it. The old methods never did this sort of thing with the ultra-powerful feint values. In fact, we didn't even know if they were good or not. After all, why would a trainer turn around hundreds of times in training? It's completely counterintuitive. So Amiibo trainers have never actually had to strategize around the behaviors caused by the feint values until now. They're not prepared for the Moonwalk Method opponents that are about to exploit Amiibo AI in a brand new way. It's not just the Link Amiibo either. Hector has also trained what is currently the #1 Banjo Amiibo in the world on Amiibots. Then, Volkysaur borrowed his training strategy and has the #2 Banjo on Amiibots. Twice now, Moonwalk Method Amiibo are on the top of the pile over everyone else. It's not like Banjo has never been trained either. DLC characters get lots of attention for months after they release, and usually get researched heavily as soon as the Amiibo gets patched into the game. Banjo specifically was a hotbed of Amiibo research by the brightest Amiibo minds available, and the Moonwalk Method still beats the best Banjos currently available 2 times over. They've done it twice. I could go on about Moonwalk Method's results, like the All-Star Tournament placements by Rukasu, a rising star in Amiibo training, or my own Pokemon Trainer Amiibo who's on a trajectory to overtake the #1 Pokemon Trainer spot in the world. But the point is, while only a few trainers are currently using the Moonwalk Method at the moment, it's got disproportionate results. It's got the results of a widespread meta shift despite only a few people training. We don't see the Amiibo meta shifting like this very often, and certainly not at this speed. The fact of the matter is, a complete rethinking and revolution of 2 relatively high-tier characters is going to leave a lasting impact on the Amiibo meta, and the Moonwalk Method is just getting started. Now look, I don't want to overhype this method, okay? Moonwalking on its own does not magically make your Amiibo into a top-tier slayer, alright? These impressive placements by Hector and Volkysaur and Rukasu, and to a lesser extent myself, relied on good strategy and heavy research. We used parrying spirit exploits, frame-by-frame camera tricks, a lot of self-doubt, and research on the AI through, my website. Each trainer had to learn their Amiibo inside and out before ever scanning it in and getting the victories with Moonwalk Method. This also doesn't necessarily work for everything. I've trained a Pit and a Wario with the Moonwalk Method, both of whom turned out about as great as Dusty Cheese. Their ground behavior was pretty solid. In fact, I'm pretty sure my Pit is the best up tilt and up air juggler out there, and other Pit trainers have actually affirmed that belief as far as Pits go. But my Pit and Wario suck in the air, and they're airborne Amiibo at heart. You can't have a good Pit or a good Wario without having good aerial prowess. Moonwalk Method simply doesn't help us there, and as far as I can tell, it just can't affect aerials as well as it affects ground-based behavior. If these results teach you anything, they should teach you that the Amiibo meta is never set in stone. While some aspects will probably never change, like Incineroar being the best or AI flaws that just aren't going to get patched, there are still plenty of very smart people jockeying to figure out the next breakthrough for their character. And maybe you could find the next big discovery. Just blow off the experts enough and do what Hector does, where you throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks after 5 hours of training. To stay up to date with Amiibo training and research, subscribe and visit AmiiboDoctor.com regularly.